You've probably experienced this. You've been paying for something for years. Same company, same service. On time, every time. Then one day, you see an ad. New customers get 50% off. And you realize something uncomfortable. Strangers are getting a better deal than you. Why? Why do companies treat new customers better than loyal ones? And here's the real question. Why do they get away with it? Let's break it down. Because this isn't random. It's behavioral science. First, we need to understand something important. Companies don't reward loyalty. They reward movement. A new customer is movement. An existing customer is stability. And stability is predictable. And predictable behavior is profitable. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Every company tracks something called customer acquisition cost. That's the money they spend to get someone new to sign up. Ads, promotions, discounts, free trials. New customers are expensive. So companies lower the risk to make the decision easy. That's why you see introductory pricing, free months, sign-up bonuses. They're reducing uncertainty because uncertainty is the biggest barrier to buying. But once you're in, the psychology changes. Now you're not deciding whether to join, you're deciding whether to leave. And that's a completely different emotional equation. This is where loss aversion comes in. Loss aversion means people fear losing something more than they enjoy gaining something equal. Canceling a service feels like losing access. Switching providers feels risky, even if another company is cheaper. So companies raise prices quietly, because most people won't move. Not because they love the price, but because they hate disruption. There's another factor: inertia bias. Humans default to the easiest option. If your service works well enough, your brain says, don't mess with it. Even if you're overpaying, even if you're mildly annoyed, effort feels heavier than the extra cost. And companies know this. There's also switching cost psychology. Even when switching is technically easy, it feels hard. You imagine, will I lose my data? Will setup be complicated? What if the new service is worse? So you stay. Not because you're satisfied, but because change feels uncertain, and uncertainty triggers stress. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Companies actually segment customers. They know some people are price-sensitive. Some people are convenience-driven. Some people are loyal by personality. And they price accordingly. This is called price discrimination strategy. Not discrimination in a moral sense, but behavioral segmentation. If you've shown you won't leave, you're less likely to get the best deal, because you've proven you tolerate the current price. There's even a term for this. It's called the loyalty penalty, and it shows up in insurance renewals, cable bills, internet plans, subscription services. The longer you stay without negotiating, the more likely you are to pay more than new customers. Now here's something interesting. Companies don't assume you love them. They assume you're busy. And busy people don't comparison shop. So loyalty isn't rewarded. Inactivity is monetized. But this isn't about villainizing companies. It's about understanding incentives. Businesses optimize for growth. Growth requires new customers. Retention just requires you not leaving. And not leaving is easier to maintain than convincing someone new. So where do they invest more? Acquisition. Now here's the empowering part. Once you understand this, you stop taking it personally. It's not disrespect. It's math. And psychology. So what can you do? One simple strategy: act like a new customer. Call and ask about promotions. Mention competitors. Request retention offers. Companies often have them. They just don't advertise them loudly, because most people never ask. Another shift: don't confuse convenience with loyalty. Loyalty made sense when switching was hard. Today, switching is easier than ever. But your brain still reacts like it's 1995. That's the gap companies profit from. And here's the bigger lesson. Markets reward attention. If you're attentive, you pay less. If you're passive, you subsidize growth. It's not fair, but it is predictable. And once something is predictable, you can work around it. So next time you see new customers only, don't get angry, get strategic. Because now you understand the system. And in Spendology, understanding behavior is power. If this made you see your subscriptions differently, you're not alone. And you're definitely not crazy. You were just playing a game without knowing the rules. Now you do.